destiny awaits!
Drown the air with Uruk cries, and the earth with Uruk blood!
Hello and welcome, I am Asylum. So, Lord of the Rings, The Shadow of Mordor is a game that needs to be spoken about. Firstly, it isn't a game I see mentioned often. It's coming out at the end of the Xbox 360, PS3 era, and the start of the Xbox One and PS4. This was 8 years ago. I also get away with a 10-year limit on this one because Games Workshop makes a Lord of the Rings game. Now, in the time of reboot like Doom, Wolfenstein and Shadow Warrior, they're all fantastic and all worth playing, and the countless sequels like GTA 5, Call of Duty whatever, and the Battlefield games, it was good to see a new game series make itself known. I have never finished reading Lord of the Rings books. I'm not a Lord of the Rings fan. I have tried. Not that they're bad. I find fantasy in general isn't the best fit for me. I prefer sci-fi. I'll pick Fallout over Elder Scrolls, Mass Effect over Dragon's Age, and Warhammer 40,000 over Age of Sigmar. It isn't a statement of quality, it is a statement of preference, you know, acknowledging something you enjoy, while accepting that the other is equally as good, but you just don't like it. And Shadow of Mordor is one of those few fantasy games that I enjoy. The story goes that you are Talion, a ranger from the Black Gate, when Sauron's forces attack, led by the Black-Handed Sauron. It starts with a great tutorial level, one that could teach other games a thing or two. It starts your story with flashbacks and current time together. You learn combat, which is the same control as the Arkham games. Kinda sucks to be Rocksteady when your control system is done better by Monolith. Anyway, so you are learning combat by teaching your son how to do it. Then it jumps to a current timeline and now you're fighting the Uruk-hai. This is your combat tutorial. The stealth again starts with a flashback. You're sneaking up your wife to plan a kiss. Oh, it's so sweet. And then you're practicing by creeping up on the Uruk-hai and murdering them. It's so sweet. The tutorial ends with you watching your family get murdered in front of you, and I'm not even joking. You watch them get murdered. Oh, and then you get your throat slit. Now, a start like this makes the game dark, and it fits the tone of what you're going to do. Anyway, Talion doesn't die, obviously, but gets saved by a ghost elf. Unlike Navi or Cortana, he actually has a use outside of being exposition dumps. I should learn to spell exposition or exhibition. Anyway, he is your range attack for the most part, and he also, for lack of a better term, X-ray vision too. You know, these open world games need that sort of vision. But he also plays an important role in the whole Lord of the Rings story. I've seen the films, I understand what they are. I just haven't read the books. So part of the game is to go around finding items. That gives Celebrimbor, yeah, that's the ghost elf's name, his memory back, piecing together why you two are now spiritually joined. Apparently there's much more to him than what he lets on. Yeah, apparently it was his choice to enter you. But anyway, so as you battle your fray, the first half of Shadow of Mordor, it is really a game of two halves too, which I quite enjoy. Your main mission is to attract a black captain. You do this by recruiting a Uruk-hai in the name of Ratbag, and you kill those above him so he can be promoted to War Chief. Then you kill all the other War Chiefs. This is an excellent time to speak about one of the best gameplay mechanics I've ever seen. Now, in most RPGs, you level up. In Shadow of Mordor, if an enemy kills you, they become a captain. You can also keep killing you up to War Chief themselves. And this goes with the captains and chiefs. The more they kill you, the harder they get to defeat. They actually level up and get stronger. It's fantastic. It's just brilliant. I just love it. I think the fact that your enemies actually level up is a great gameplay mechanic, and I love it. And I would love to see it in more games as well. And it is one of the best additions to the game. And again, I've not seen anything like this in a while, and I really like it. So, once you've promoted Ratbag to War Chief and help the outcasts, which are like the slaves of the game, you have to rescue, put up a statue of Sauron, and the Black Captain comes, you defeat him, and now you unlock the second half. Now this second half opens a completely new map. You can jump between the two, like if you're doing the challenges. And it's pretty much the same as the first half, with the same sort of missions, such as killing a captain during a feast or to pick a winner duel. Now this is another thing I like you'll get these little missions where there's a duel between two captains, and you get to pick which one you want to win, more or less, because you kill the one that you don't want to win, obviously. And it's just fantastic again, like, you actually really are influencing the world here, and it's just brilliant. And again, you can defeat them in feast, you can poison their grog, you can just sneak up and kill them. If they, that's another thing. Like these captains will also have strengths and weaknesses. Like a weakness could be you could one-shot them with stealth, or they could be completely immune to stealth. So if you try to stealth them, it just won't work. Anyway, back to the point. There is also, like I said, you can release the slaves. So I do actually have a script, believe it or not. Now, in the second half, you get to meet the best character in the game by none, and he is a dwarf named Torvin. He's a hunter, and you go and kill some beasts with him as he trains you to ride beasts and take down a mighty Graug. Now, Graug is like a big monster. It looks fantastic. Kind of reminds me of a Rancor from Star Wars, but anyway. And this is mostly because so he can avenge his brother. Torvin is just fun to be around. Most of his story is found out by actually collecting artifacts in the second map. And you wouldn't know this because he doesn't let on about who his, who this guy is, his ex-partner. He just never let on. But you let on, you find out because of the artifacts and how close they were. And this actually, like, when you finally defeat the Graug he was after, he's like, hey, join me. And you're like, nah, I got this stuff. And he's like, no. Anyway, and you can see he's actually quite elated, but he's also, he's had to finally do something to finally, remember to help his memory of his brother. That's really good. So anyway, this main part of the story though is not Torvin, it's actually helping the Queen Marin. Now, there's a problem with this story. Well, she tells you eventually to take control of the War Chief's mines. And, make an army out of the Uruk-hai. You do this, but after you do this, you're told that this was actually Saruman's plan, and that he's in league with Sauron. Which makes no sense, because this is actually a fantastic idea. If you can control your enemy, and, have them back you up, this is a great idea. Why wouldn't you do this? This seems like Saruman going... It seems just like a point that someone fixed Saruman into it, to tie it into the films. It just seems a bit silly to me, okay? So you build an army to fight with Black Hand, because this is going to hurt the forces of evil, as it's a pointless storyline. I mean, they didn't really need to sort of shoehorn Saruman in it. You could have just had it say, look, but did you know that this dude here with a memory, like in the first half of the game, he's regaining, Celebrimbor is regaining his memories and what he can do. So, what stopped them getting him to remember that he can do this? Anyway, pointless story point aside, let's carry on in. So, you brand the War Chiefs and take the fight to a Black Hand, you win. The end. Now, with gameplay is almost brilliant. I'm not joking. It's almost brilliant. It's fantastic fun game, but yeah, gameplay does suffer. And you can tell in this, if you read or hear reviews of Shadow of Mordor, you can definitely tell if they finished the game or not. The combat is amazing. The climbing is mostly good, but like all games which there's a lot of climbing, it can get finicky at best. Stealth kills from above are probably the best example of this. So like, if you've got a captain who can be one-shot by stealth, as I said earlier, and you get him targeted, and all of a sudden he moves a little bit, and someone just moves slightly closer, it'll suddenly target the other one. And by the time you press A, because of your reactions, X, you will be attacking the wrong person. And it happens enough, and it's just annoying, right? It's finicky. I'd rather be able to have a lock-on mechanic, that would have made it better, but you never know. I haven't played Shadows of War yet, so maybe in that one. Anyway, if you have time, you can reselect the captain, hopefully, if they are not out of range. The Black Hand of Sauron boss fight needs to be mentioned as the lowest point of this game. He is built up to be the biggest, the baddest in the game. And it's just a quick time event with button pushes. It requires zero skill. It lets down the entire Shadow of Mordor completely. Their War Chiefs were harder to defeat, and it's just an embarrassment on the game that it's just an embarrassment that it's a quick time event to defeat the final boss, to be honest with you. Anyway, so, and there's also the glitches. Now, when I was playing this, I had to restart the game 3 times in like my 100% completion rate. Yeah, and this is like one of the few games I've actually 100% completed. Not got all the achievements, but I've done all the challenges. So that's what I consider 100% complete, not just achievements. Anyway, and it's good. And it includes being stuck in scenery. Now, in a world of patches and bug fixes, this should not be happening. The open world is great to explore, and you are rewarded for doing it too. Especially when you're doing like hunting, survival, and artifact challenges. Okay. But like I said, I have got stuck in places. I've had things not spawn in what I need to do and stuff like that. And I've just had to basically turn the game off and restart the game. And like I said, it was 3 times in this entire big game, so it's not much of an issue, but it's just because I love exploring games so much, but I'm bound to finding glitches. Anyway, as I said, Shadow Mordor is one of a few games I've actually 100%ed on. The other games are, if you wish to know, Pikmin 2, Banjo-Kazooie, Fallout 3. Yes, and that's with all the DLC on Fallout 3 as well. I've 100%ed that one. Now, I love the finishes there, so you get these finishes that are exceptionally bloody, and you're often cutting off heads. You know, just because, yay. And it looks good. Graphically, it's a fantastic looking game. It's a brilliant looking game. I love it. It's fantastic. And here's the best thing, the Uruk-hai, who are pretty much famous for all looking the same, are very different, each model. I mean, they have very popular, they have things that are very similar, so you can tell where the Uruk-hai and which rank they are, but they have these little things which you can tell which one apart. Like, you can literally see one in the future, in the distance, and you can say, that dude's a war captain or a war chief, because of what he's carrying and stuff like that, and where he's dressed. And also, like, when you defeat certain captains so many times, they do come back from the dead too, and they have like bandaged faces, and they will actually talk to you like, you've tried to kill me and it didn't work, and their faces are like really messed up. Anyway, it's just a fantastic looking game. It's a very fun game. It's pretty cheap to buy at the moment, and it's worth playing if you get the chance. Anyway, now you can watch me just going ham on a Graug now for the last 5 minutes, because I just wanted to get this one. This was the last achievement I had to get anyway. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed Shadows of Mordor. It's cheap enough to buy now, especially if you get a physical copy. Yeah, definitely buy it. It's fantastic. I enjoy playing it. And thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe as always. And of course, we have links down below. Element Games. If you like Warhammer, if you like Lord of the Rings, it's actually a tabletop game by Games Workshop. That is in. You can find that on Element Games too. There is my comics and my t-shirts for horror fans. There is Forbidden Planet if you do want to get some Lord of the Rings merchandise, but you can get it there too. Of course, these links actually do help support the channel. And of course, there is Patreon if you wish to give me money. But as I always say, click the links, get something for yourself first. I would prefer you did that than actually handing me money. Thank you very much for watching. Have a great day.